Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It is G here. I feel like this beach life is doing things for me lately, and I have a few moments of peace in the garden again. So I thought I'd make a video, and I was thinking about something. About how can we women, especially us Black women, stop letting men profit off our pain. Guys, subscribe to my channel and let's have a little chat.
If you catch me outside this summer, do not ask me what I do for a living. I am a viber, a chiller, a collector of experiences. And
so I don't know about y'all, but growing up, when I started dating, when I started being interested in men, one of the things that I felt like was a theme, and it was like probably from my mother, was don't listen to other women about your men, and men are going to tell you how it was always men, listen to men. A man's gonna tell you what you need to do to keep him, right? He's gonna, you got to do what the man says to do to keep him. And since we've all had these iterations, and we are now knowing that us aunties are telling the younger generation, no, don't go down the path that I went. Don't, learn from my misjudgments and mistakes and do differently. And I think women are finally starting more and more to listen to each other. But we still, when we find a man who validates our opinion, we go full stop. I'm talking about the Derek Jaxes of the world, right? He got rich off of Black women's pain. He was a man who validated so many Black women, even those women who were I'm done. We'd be no, listen to him. He's telling you something, right? We helped him become, we made him famous, Black women. We don't do that same thing a lot for women telling us the truth. We're more skeptical of them. It's still more women are just kind of side-eyeing, I've been seeing Sharia, oh my God, the Sprinkle woman. I just came across her page, and so many women be mad at her. And I'm she's telling you the truth. And then if they're mad at you, they make you famous. But if you're just okay, you're all right, they don't. So one of the things that I've noticed, especially us Black women who are still centering men, I'm going to talk more about decentering men, because I've been so inspired by some of the women content creators that I have come across, and they put into words things that I had been trying to do without necessarily having the label for it, and what I had been doing for a while without having a label for it. And I think those women, I have been validating me more than I think any man could. So I want to share some of what I think and how we can apply it to so many things that we do unconsciously, because we've centered men. We center men and we let them profit from our pain. So we hear men saying, oh, don't treat Black women this way. Don't, they're valuable. We'll hear a man saying, because so many of them have told us that we aren't. And we're still looking for that validation, that male validation, that ultimately, if we didn't need him to say anything great, and we don't care about what they're saying over there either. And we're just I've centered me. And thank you, either one. I don't need it, but I'm still centering me. And if I find someone who can actually come along, someone that actually comes along and can ride with me without being a burden, okay, I can do that. But if not, I'm good still centering me. So that's the one thing we need to stop doing, right? We need to stop listening to men when it comes to gender issues. Men telling women about women, either good or bad. We don't need to make them famous anymore. I just got, someone forwarded me some guy who did a reaction video of me, like trying to break me down. And I looked at like 2 seconds of it and was like, I'm good. Because ultimately, I don't care what the man thinks. I definitely don't care what he has to say when I'm trying to share experiences with women, especially Black women, of how you can think and change your life and be different. And why do I care what he has to say? He's not talking to me. The only time they talk to men and talk at us is to try and break us down. Because men who really want change, really support women, they should be talking to men. They shouldn't be talking to us, good or bad. If he has a positive perspective on women issues, he considers himself a feminist, he should be talking to men. He should be building his platform on educating men to be better. Not coming to us and saying, and let me tell you about your pain. I know your pain. I'm different than those dudes, right? No, you're not. Because you're still just trying to make yourself valuable to women and then profit off of them. You're just not being honest about it. You're not being forthright. So when I start thinking more and more about this, that's one of my things I think we can do as a collective is stop listening to men, especially when it comes to gender issues. When it comes to things about women, we don't need them. And more of us need to be telling each other the truth. More of us need to be talking about it. And that's why I even talk about some of the struggles with multicultural relationships, multi-ethnic, biracial, whatever you want to call them. They're not always easy. So I think that when people start telling people the truth, those are harder things to hear, but they're always somehow acceptable when men say them, especially when they're talking at women, because they're not helping us. They're not telling us anything we don't know. They're just not. They're not doing us any favors. So who they should be addressing is the men that they think are the problems. They should be trying to bring more of these dudes onto their side and leave us out of it. Because if they really wanted to change something, they know who needs to change. I mean, we're good. So guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be talking more about navigating some of these conversations I'm having over the summer with my family here. As I've talked about, this journey of living abroad is not just about I don't know, being away from the United States. It's more when you're really living in a culture, and there's different ways to live abroad, but living in it and being in a family and trying to navigate a culture that is very different than what you are used to, and somewhere races and all these things makes a difference. So guys, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to chatting with some of you in the comments, and ciao for now.